Hey guys, we made it. Thank God it's Friday. All right, so here we still have our 15-minute window. Now you guys have a choice. You guys can do a push press, a shoulder press, a push jerk, or a split jerk. You guys have 15 minutes to figure out how heavy you're gonna go in that discipline, right? And so what I will highly recommend, I know you have a choice of 3 to 4 different movements of shoulder to overhead variation. I highly recommend you guys choose one and work on that for the whole 15 minutes. You'll be better prepared when the weight gets really heavy if you just kind of like drill the same movement pattern over the 15 minutes, right? Your body will be best prepared for that. And so I'll kind of go through a couple of those variations. Our push press, we use our legs at the beginning, right? We want to dip with this nice tall chest. We want to explode the legs nice and aggressive, send the weight from our feet through our hips through our shoulders, and then into the bar and straighten the bar over our head with straight legs, all right? And so that kind of happens pretty quick as we do that. Remember, hips first, arms second. Nice and control. So from here, that'll be your push press. Again, feet stay pretty glued to the ground. The hips move first, the arms move second. The barbell goes over your head with straight legs, right? Now, the push jerk. The setup is quite similar, right? We might want to get our elbows a little bit higher because we get to use our arms to catch the bar instead of push the bar. And then our feet actually moves from a starting position to a receiving position. Now the receiving position can be whatever's comfortable to you. Ideally, we want it to be about squat width apart, all right? So we want to start deadlift width and we want to end squat width, right? As we extend our hips the first time, we want to receive the weight with our hips backing down, knees out, chest tall, all right? Arms go straight. And so, yeah, so that's it. I'm not gonna give you guys too much to think about. I'll just show you guys. So this is the push jerk, okay? So again, and then it's I just like to think about like doing the things the same way, just I always kind of like nice here, get a big breath, go underneath it, come here. Come back. Come back. So there's your push jerk. You guys catch it. The weight's relatively light, so my hips are higher. It's okay for your hips to go down a little bit lower, right up into parallel, right? We want to kind of avoid going below parallel in this push jerk position. Some T-spine mobility issues kind of come into play. Barbell will pitch forward, things that get kind of like weird and crazy. So we don't want to do that. We want to avoid that. Now, the technique that yields the most weight, right? Proven through hundreds of years. The ones that do the squat jerks are anomalies, but the split jerk is the best adopted technique to move as much weight as possible. So if you guys see any technique on like any sort of Olympic, CrossFit, hookgrip.com, whatever it is, most likely 9.5 times out of 10, you got to see people utilizing the split jerk position, right? And so we just want to think about the split jerk as just kind of like a natural half lunge, right? Where we want to get stable here, the back knees going towards the ground, the knee, hip, shoulder, line, barbell overhead, right? And so those are really key components. A lot of times people kind of go here, and you guys kind of see how I'm lifting weight here. So now I have to have a lot of mobility to pull the weight where it is. And then you guys can kind of see this angle here. It's just not great long-term strategy if you guys want to get really good at this, right? A lot of scenarios might arise if you guys keep practicing that consistently over time, right? Not saying it's not good one time, but over time, make our choices, we live with them, all right? So we're here. Setup's kind of the same, right? That's kind of the neat thing. Everything kind of looks the same until it doesn't. So elbows nice and high. We want to use our hips first. Drop down, halfway back, halfway forward. One more time. Halfway back, halfway forward. And so that's your split jerk variation. So again, whatever you guys choose, rock with that for the whole 15 minutes. Hopefully at the end of 15 minutes, you have done as much as possible that you've ever done in your life. We want to celebrate you. Let's clap, let's have fun, let's go get it. Hey guys, and so our conditioning component for Friday, right? We have 5 rounds, 4 time. We have 10 handstand push-ups. We have 20 box jump overs. We have 3 muscle ups, right? The handstand push-ups, they should be performed kipping if that's available to us, right? If you guys want to stack ab mats, that's completely fine. If you guys want to do a different variation, we can kind of go over a lot of those, right? But our kipping handstand push-up, a couple of things that on your way down, right? We start with extended arms, and on your way down, it'll probably be in your best interest to try to aim your butt back to the wall, because that'll kind of create a tripod position if you start with your hands a nice distance away from the wall. So to simply just think about hands about 8 inches away from the wall, 6 to 8 inches away from the wall, and then as you go down, aim your butt back to the wall. It'll kind of create this base that'll allow us to push very, very strongly into our movement. All right, and so we want to lower the knees to the elbows, and then we want to shoot the feet, then shoot the hands in a very kipping fashion. So just kind of think about those key components. Again, start with straight arms, hands 6 to 8 inches away from the wall. On your way down, on your descent down, the back and butt aims towards the wall, creates a nice strong base, and then you'll bring your knees to your elbows, shoot your feet, push your hands, and then ideally we'll just kind of end up with an extended arm, and then that'll be fantastic. That'll be a kipping handstand push-up. Cool. All right. And so let me follow my own advice. Hands 6 to 8 inches away from the wall, kick up, button back here, knee to elbow, shoot, press out, and we got 10 of those, right? And so once we get done with 10 of those, we just want 20 box jump overs. So again, just jump. We can stay low, step off, stay low, step off. We got 20 of those into 3 muscle ups, right? So the muscle ups is from this hanging support to this, you can just call it bottom support to top support, right? The people that are really good just go from hanging to top support. I mean, not that good. I'm gonna pass through low support first. And so we just wanna start with a swing. And then as we swing, we're gonna think about finding our toes, head neutral. Find your toes the moment you see them, open up your hips, and then come through. And we want to turn over, pretty much, we want to turn over with our heels pulling back and then our head pulling forward. The thing that I often see, that I see people really focus on like hips to rings, and then they'll do all they can to get their hips up, and then their feet will fall below their hips. And then that's a really, really hard transition. You got to be overly strong to make up for that movement fall, right? So to put us in a good position, we want to have our feet here. We want to open up our hips. On the way to the ring, we want to turn it over, and we never want our feet to go below or behind our hips, especially in space, because then that's just kind of it'll just be a long, frustrating day for you, all right? So, swing, fine, and then press out. You guys can kip out of that if you want. And then you guys got 3 of those. 5 rounds, have fun with this, go get it.